Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well. My name is Toni and this is the lovely How to Craft Network, the place where you can come and get brand new products, brand new launches, inspiration. There is a plethora of people attending the How to Craft Network studio now where you can get lots and lots of ideas and inspiration. And we don't care if you do not have our products. You will have products in your stash that will work equally as well. So if you are watching on YouTube right now, thank you very much, but don't forget to click that subscribe button. This gives you the half an hour notice when we are live or when we have some brand new launches. And today is Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you're all well and I hope you're all having a fabulous day. In today's studio, we launched the brand new Stamps by Me Christmas Collection 2021. We're launching it live here today in studio, but if you are a Create and Craft Club member, you know that you can always get our products over there as well, and these will be launched live in studio on the 12th of June. So not long. So if you like something today, this is the early bird. Once the early bird has gone, it's gone. Unfortunately. So if you do miss out, unfortunately, then the only opportunity then is to get them over on Create and Craft. So you do get 2 bites of the cherry, you don't miss out. So if you're just tuning in for the inspiration today and you like to buy from Create and Craft, that's amazing too. It really doesn't matter where you buy from. So in today's show, I have 2 bundles and 2 individuals. However, we have more on the website as well. Okay, so go and check out the website and have a look, see what we've got going on. It's all brand new and I'm hoping you're going to love at least one item today. We have worked incredibly hard to bring you something that's a little bit different, fingers crossed. So thank you so much if you are tuning in, and I hope you're going to like the show, and I will be doing some lovely demonstrations showing you how we put these products together. So let's talk about what's in show first. So we have this fabulous bundle here. Now we've started popping the prices on screen for you, so if you do like the products, all you need to do is take the number from the screen, and I will go through it as well throughout the show and punch it into our website, which is www.stampsbyme.co.uk, and it will bring up that product that relates to that number. If you are a Stamps by Me follower already and know how it all works, you know that you can go to FBL and to the HTCN tab as well. But the number is there to help you. So the first product I'm going to talk about today is this product here. It's a lovely bundle. It's a bundle of 3. And the item number for this one is 100017. Okay, so this is gorgeous. So as you can see, I'll start at the top. We have our fabulous, infamous, gorgeous lamination birds. Okay, so you can spritz these with water or not. It doesn't matter. They look beautiful. So I'll just turn the packaging round for you here just to show you the back of this packaging. Now these stamps come in a layering form, but they also have the lovely outline dies as well. So you can decoupage them up, you can pop your gel behind, and you can lift and elevate them from the design. So there's 3 birds. There is like a cardinal, there is a blue tit, and there's also a robin. But if you change out the colours, you can equally make one look like a thrush. You can make them look like different birds. So make them work for you. So yes, it's Christmas, and yes, it's called Festive Friends, but it can be anything. Okay, so that's the first one in this collection. I'll just switch this one round very, very quickly. Oops, daisy. So this one is Festive Friends, and this is an A5 set, okay, with a coordinating die. So we're just going to move down to the bottom here. So at the base here, we have our lovely oak ornaments. Now, these are beautiful, and I'm going to walk down the counter and tell you everything's incredible because I believe everything is incredible. And I think we've really pushed it out this year to bring you something different and something vintage and something unique. So on here, we have our lovely oak ornaments, and what these are, again, they're sort of a layering system, so you get that wood effect. So you get a circle in there and you get a heart design as well. So I'm going to show you in demo today that if you cut them out in coloured cardstocks, they look amazing. But if you want to add your ink and be a little bit more creative, you can also do that as well. And just over my shoulder here, there we go. You can see they make beautiful ornaments, and in keeping with our fabulous sort of stamps from last year as well. They look amazing. So if we team them up with other things that you've got in your stash, they're going to do great. So that's your fabulous oak ornaments. So we have the birds, the oak ornaments, and then lastly on here, the oak ornaments wouldn't work well without the beautiful wreaths that layer on top, so you can actually make decorations and things like that. They have the layering system with the bows in there as well, so you have the dark element and then the spots or the lines to add on top to make the bows look like twine. And you get the heart wreath, which goes obviously on the heart ornament, and then you get the two different types of circular ones on there. So you have ones that look like twigs, and then you have one that looks like fern. So absolutely beautiful. And that one is a stamp and a die. And just the oak ornaments are just a die. So I'm just going to quickly run through. That's 100,017 for that one. The normal price for that one is $89.95. And today's HTCN price is $74.99. So that's a saving of $14.96. So I've tried to reduce the price a little bit for you if you do like all three. But as always, they are available as individuals on the website. So if you just like the birds, you can just get the birds. Okay, so shall I just quickly show you through the boards that I've created here, just to demonstrate, because it's all beautiful in the packaging, but you want to see how they work. So let's just show you how they are incredible. So we have, starting with the oak ornaments. So these are just in some cardstock that I have blended with some of my inks. So can we see that here? How cool are those? You might not be able to pick up the white feature on here. I do apologise for that, but coloured up and layered. Look how realistic these look. They are beautiful. And I changed the colour design because no two logs are the same. The lines are different, the colours are different, and I've added this traditional splat on there. So those are your oak ornaments. So if you just like those, you can go and get those. So that's the oak ornaments. And then we have the beautiful wreaths that go on top of your oak ornaments. Okay, so you've got the pretty bows in there. You can see the foliage here, spritzed as well. And these are your layering bows where you get the solid entity and the second layer that does the spots and the lines. We also get the lovely elongated twine bow on there. But these are then just cut through just to show you exactly what they are like. They are incredible. And then lastly, we have the beautiful birds. So as you can see here, you get some foliage in this one as well. Okay, so you can see the foliage elements and the die cuts that go around your birds. But look at these incredible birds. It doesn't matter what colour you do them in. They look beautiful. Got the beautiful cardinal in there. Add some sparkle onto the foliage that comes in the same set. Look at that. That would look beautiful on a card. But again, masculine cards throughout the year with a robin. Everybody loves a robin. We have sort of blue tit style ones here as well, and I'll just quickly show you some beautiful samples. So those are the three items within that set. Okay, the item number for that one is 100,017. So let's just show you a handful of samples that I've got here in my hand. So what about the blue tit? So absolutely gorgeous cards here from our lovely design team. Look at that. That doesn't have to be Christmas, does it? I don't think so. So that's that one. Let's have a look at another one. So we have a beautiful cardinal here. So the red sort of bird on there as well. Look at that. And using those lovely stamps from the lovely wreaths on there. Then we have the beautiful robins. There we go. You can see how gorgeous they're going to look. Then we have the wreaths on the ornaments. Now, what about changing the ornaments up for some pink backgrounds rather than the traditional wood? So cool. So that's item 100,017. So let's move down the counter and show you what else we've got going on, because there's so much to show you. It's incredible. I keep saying the word incredible, don't I? Because it's just amazing. I'm so pleased and so proud. And I know a lot of you always wait for Stamps by Me's Christmas collection. Well, I hope you like what we've done so far. So the next item in the collection is this lovely bundle here. Now this is item number 100,018, and it's a set of 3 again, okay, but it's in a little bit of a different format. So let's just talk about what's on the top here. So we have the decorative tags with the dies, okay, so it's this one here, okay. The great thing about these is the detail is in the tags. So your snowflakes are kept within the tags. The words are there. The sort of Christmas tree, and you know that detail now where we're doing the cross hatching and you're having to turn to get different texture. No. Not at all. It stamps with the texture. The design is as such that you get the texture when you do the stamp. These are so, so cool. They don't look great on the packaging. Yes, well, actually, they do look great on the packaging, but it doesn't show you truly how amazing they are, and I'll show you the boards in a second. So that's the lovely tags. And then as we move down here, we have the baubles. I love a good bauble. Now, these are different in the sense that, let me just move that little tree there. There we go. So you get sort of your two very modern baubles, and then you get the lovely baubles with the sort of cascading, sort of suede material effect that goes around the baubles. Okay, look at that. I mean, come on, come on. Absolutely gorgeous. And we never change the theme here at Stamps by Me. It always has that artistic element, you know, like we've painted. You know, it's easy to cut out of two colours of cardstock and they look beautiful. But let's pick up that brush. Let's just add that detail and that colour. So those are your fabulous baubles, and I'll show you the boards in a second. And then lastly, we have our pine cones. Pine cones, totally different. I don't think I've ever seen pine cones like these ones. And the reason I say that is they come in 3 parts, okay? So we have our solid part, and I will show you this in a second. We have our solid part. We have the elements that pop up and create the spike out of your pine cones, and then we have the shadow that sits on top, and they really do look 3D. And you also get the branch and the berries and the twigs and the fern to build up a beautiful card. Okay, so this item is 10018. The price for this one combined is normally £71.96, but in studio today it's £59.99, and that's a saving of £11.97. So if you do like them all, brilliant. But as always, I do encourage to not overspend. We love to inspire you and we love to buy your products, but we always do them as individuals. And you may have some baubles in your stash that you're thinking, do you know what? I have baubles. That's great. Dig them out and get them used. Let's show you the boards, and then I'll show you some fabulous samples. So let's show you the fabulous sort of design what I was talking about with our lovely, lovely baubles on this. Sorry, there we go. So you can see here we have this sort of cross-hatch design on here. So this is the stamp. I haven't added like extra embellishments to get the tree. That is the tag itself, okay? So if you were to stamp that one out, it would go straight on a gift, absolutely. So we've got this sort of design. We have the elongated with the little stag in the base here. We have the one with the snowflake with the stitch detail in. We have this sort of solid one. Imagine all the colours you could use with these. Absolutely beautiful. Season's greetings with the mistletoe. And then I'll just tilt this one round a little bit here. And then we have the solid one here with Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And the die cuts them all through. So sort of an eclectic mix of sizes and designs, but you could team 2 and 3 up on one present or one card. So that is your sort of tag design. Let me just move that down here. And then we have our beautiful 3D pine cones. Now, have you ever seen pine cones that look like this? Let me tilt. The pine cones are true pine cones. You can actually scratch them like pine cones. They look like pine cones, and there's all the there we go, look at that. Now yes, pine cones are amazing, but flat, absolutely not. So let me just show you here. So, and I'm going to show you one of these on a demo. So basically you have the flat portion which has detail, okay, so you add some colour. Then you have your second part with the flaps, which is sort of like got the detail in there. And then this part is the shadow part, which you put on top of, and it gives you the dark effect that goes round to give you that sort of curve and that beautiful 3D effect. And then you get all of your fabulous embellishments. So we've got this large twig here going through here, which can be teamed up with all of the greenery. And I cut several pieces of the greenery, and I put a note to say on this one because, yes, I know it's a Christmas card, but a note to say, Merry Christmas. So that is your fabulous 3D pine cones. I hope you're liking it so far. I can't see the comments, but when I get to the other side, I promise you, I will read some of the comments. And then here we have our fabulous baubles. Now, 2 very traditionals, gold on gold, absolutely gorgeous. But check these out. These look real. Do they not look real? They look like they are domed. And that is because of these dies, okay? They've been created in such a way that the baubles look 3D. And I'm going to show you this one in a demo too. So you get the two solid parts here, you get the two overlays, which can look beautiful in gold on gold. Any colour theme would look absolutely beautiful. And then we have our circle die, which fits within these two topper elements here. So shall I show you some fabulous samples using this one? So excited. So let's just grab, got a lot on my counter here. Let me just grab. So let's show you these lovely. So let's just say you wanted to do a bit of craft colour with your baubles on there. Absolutely. Look at that. Bit of sparkly card if you want to. And again, to both of you, from all of us, that's using your washi tape. And then what about building those lovely pine cones in there too? So you can see the 3D element of those pine cones. They look like pine cones. And I'm going to show you as well, when we go to TV, that I'm going to do a white pine cone with a shade of grey. So it's going to look like the whole pine cone is covered in snow. And then what about this one? Teaming it up with one of our earlier designs and adding that extra sparkle on there too. These are the tags, but not used in a traditional form, just on a card topper there. The tags used in with the pine cones there as well. Oh, check out the embossing folder in the background. That's coming up in the show too. And let me just quickly show you this one too. I know it's in shop, but I just wanted to show you this one too. So very sort of modern, but very, very vintage. The no-line watercolouring in that beautiful bauble just topped on there. And these words are coming up in the show also. So I'll just pop that one down there. So that item is 100018, and there is a saving of £11.97 if you buy it as a bundle today. Okay, so the combined price would be £59.99, but check out the website for the individuals. Okay, so let's move down. So I have some individuals because we do like to try and accommodate for everybody. I know you go out and check out the website anyway, but I still prefer to have individuals in our live show as well. Because I appreciate you may have birds in your stash, or baubles, or pine cones. So let's talk about this little darling right here. So this is your winter borders, okay? This comes in a 5x7. It's huge, and you get 3 large backgrounds. It's this one here, this one here. That's the one. So you can see on the packaging here, you get your 3 borders. It looks beautiful in white embossing, it looks beautiful in gold embossing, but I'll just show you the sizes here. So these are going to make snowy backgrounds, these are going to make background fillers. If you want to put a branch over with a robin, you can do that too. So absolutely gorgeous. So I did the top 2 in gold there, and I did 1 in white, so you can see exactly how gorgeous it's going to look. Look at that. Very fitted. It looks like my jumper from yesterday. And then here it is just in a black ink pad. But these are so, so lovely. So if you're looking for background fillers and things like that, these are going to work amazing. Shall I just show you a few samples of those ones? So let's just show you. So here we are, look, teamed up with the beautiful birds. Look at that. So that border's just been stamped around the edge. We've changed the bird up there. This is from our lovely Karen, and we've used the washi tape samples in there as well. That beautiful wreath from collection 1. What about doing it onto some sort of background texture anyway, so it looks a little bit more cable knit? We have the lovely tags in the background there as well, teamed up. What about just at the base? Doesn't have to be anything fancy, guys. Nothing fancy at all. Teaming up with last year's or the year before. And then with that bauble there in a mirror board instead of this traditional craft coloured card. So there are your lovely, lovely winter borders. Last one on the counter, moving down. So the last one on the counter is we couldn't do Christmas without sentiments. So we've done some sentiments a little bit different this time. So you can see from a lovely set here. So these are individuals. Please don't mix them up and think they're together. Individuals, okay? So this words here is 100020, okay? And it's an A5 stamp set. It doesn't have a die or anything like that. So all you have to do is you stamp the large word, which it could be winter, it could be peace, it could be festive, it could be happy, it could be sparkle. And then you choose the little words just to slot in the missing area. So you can team it up and make your own unique sentiments. So let's show you on the board here. Very, very easily. There we go. So you can see I've stamped, so these are all your large words with the missing elements, and the words team into the missing pieces. Okay, so you like warmest wishes, you know, festive cheer, festive fun, winter magic, you know, there's just peace be with you, sparkle and shine. Just mix them up as you please. And the great reason why they've been separated is so you can put that second element in a colour if you want to, or heat embossing if you want to. You can fill those spaces with a different shade. So it sort of takes the element of just the plain simple sentiment into two-dimensional, if that makes any sense at all. So these are all the elements that come within that A5 set there. And here's just a few examples on there. And then, excuse me, and then when you start, you will have seen in lots of the samples across the board, them used, but here is just a little one with festive greetings along the base there. Absolutely gorgeous. So you can see there. So those lovely birds, again, we have some different coloured birds, all of the foliage used from collection 1 and collection 2. It just shows you that it all works incredibly beautiful. So that is the show. I will be showing you some more products when I get to the other side of the counter. However, I will say to you, our counter is not big enough to get it all on. So I'm just going to talk through those, but they are on the website, so go check out the website, have a look under FBL or under the codes which I've been giving you across the board, or if you want to click into the HTCN tab, all of the products are loaded on there. I'm being told it's really, really busy, which I'm so thankful for. It was busy for Claire's show yesterday as well, so I'm super, super happy you like the product. So whilst I go and get ready for another demonstration, here is a little bit of inspirational Christmas to get you in the mood. Grab that cup of tea and I'll see you in a minute or two. It's so busy. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the show. So let's show you how these lovely elements go together and how easy they are to create the most gorgeous handmade sort of Christmas cards that we all love and adore at Christmas time. So I'm going to be using the fabulous oak ornaments from collection number 1. Okay, so this is where you get that sort of wood grain effect. And then you get the layering elements on there to create sort of a 3D element. If you pop a hole in the top, you can create hangers. I have a massive wreath that I'm on with at the moment, which is a mix of all of the oak sort of ornaments and some lovely foliage for my front door. Thankfully, I've got a little porch on the top of my door so it won't get wet. So the item number for that collection is 100017. So let's show you how these work. So let me just tip them all out first of all and show you. So it's lovely to see you all. Hi Audrey, hi Michaela, hi Julie, hi Anne. I need to breathe, don't I? Hi Selma. I don't know why I get stressed about it all. You know what it's like, guys. You know me well by now. So let me just show you the elements on here. So you have sort of the elements that go around the wood element here, and you can skip some of the layers too, so you don't have to use all of the elements there. So you can use just the sort of texture and the outline, or you can use this part here, which will give you that extra detail. And the same applies for the heart as well. So you've got the heart, the sort of another layer here to create the wood texture, and then the sort of decal sort of distress edge, which is going to give you that lovely wood effect. So let me just take these off here and show you what I've already done. Now I have cut ahead of time it in white to show you that, you know, it is brilliant to experiment with colour. So you can make them any colour you want to. If you want to do a green outer edge so it looks like it's been damp and it's full of sort of like a ringworm effect, then you can do that. But if you are a traditionalist and you do like to stick with the colours that it says on the tin, which is absolutely fine, I've already gone ahead and cut them in sort of some coloured cardstock here. So you can see that lovely embossed detail in there. And when you add ink to this, it's going to highlight that sort of ring effect in there, which you do get within your logs anyway. And it's going to just make something really, really pretty. Everybody's saying hello. Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. I can now breathe. I'm in my comfort zone now. So shall we be a bit creative with some colours? So I've just got a handful of distress inks here, and I'm just using some browns. It doesn't matter what you use. If you use your Eyes ink or your Distress or whatever brand it is, you know, it's all going to work well. Stick with what you know and love. So let's just move the coloured ones out of the way for now. And I'm just going to bring in these white ones, and I'm just going to show you how quickly they can come to life. So let's just pop it on this piece of paper so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let's start with our lovely textured sort of grain centered element here. So I'm going to go, let's have a look. Let's go see what brushed corduroy looks like. Festive music in June, I know. Let me just clean my brush. So let's get this colour on here. So I'm just going to add some of this lovely colour on here. And because I had a bit of blue on there, it looks like I've got a little bit of green now, which is fine. I love the rustic wood effect anyway. Oh, Roseanne, you're doing great, Toni. I know, I just need to breathe. I'll be fine. I'll be fine, I'm on it. So I'm just adding this colour, and you can see instantly how we've got that sort of lovely, lovely sort of design on there. Now I'm going to enhance it further, but I am just going to colour all of my layers first. So that's the centre of the oak ornament, and then my next layer, I'm going to swap it out for a different colour. So shall we go vintage photo this time? I think if you are wanting a sort of vintage look, I think as long as you stick with the theme of the sort of tea dye colours and your browns and things like that, you are going to be fine. So let's just get some colour around the edge of this. Now, I'm not going to colour it all because half of it is going to be hidden. So let's just get some colour around the edge of here. I think you're going to absolutely love these. So we are incredibly busy. This is the early bird. Please don't forget, once it's gone, it's gone. I don't like to talk about it, but literally when it's gone, it's gone. So if you do want them now, you can grab them now. But they are going to be available on Create and Craft as well. So let me just show you how cool this looks when you start to matte and layer. Now, you can matte and layer it perfect on top if you want to, but I don't like to. I like to make it like skew whiff, if that's a word, because then it looks more realistic to me. I'm just going to darken that a little bit more. Helen says, oh, hi, Helen Kirkham. The collection is gorgeous. Thank you so much. I am super proud of this collection. And as well, because it works so well with the rest of our products that we've launched at Christmas as well. As you can see from a lot of the design team samples, they've absolutely loved them. Right, so like you can see straight away, we're getting a lovely piece of wood coming together. And then our last one, which is a dark one, I'm going to swap out for aged mahogany. Hey, it's a bit of a red tone in this one, which will probably look quite nice. Toni, you are on it like a car bonnet. Thank you, Catherine. I've not heard that saying for such a long time. So I'm being asked when is the CNC show. So my Create and Craft show is the 12th, okay, and it's 3 hours. I have a surprise on that day for you as well. Can't tell you too much, but you need to tune in because something's happening on the 12th. So I have 3 live hours. All exciting, hey? We do love Christmas. It's so funny because when I left studio here yesterday and I went to pick my son up from summer camp, obviously it was red hot, and I was wearing a Christmas jumper. Explain that one. Oh, I tried to like wave him over to come to the car. He's like, Mummy, come over, come over. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm just going to add a little bit of vintage photo on top just to push that red back a little bit. Not too much. So this is showing you if you play with your inks, the looks are amazing. So let's show you when we start to team this one up. See that there? So we see how we've got a nice piece of wood. Now I'm just going to elevate the design in the centre there. So I'm going to switch out to, oh, let's have a look. Which one? Let's go walnut stain. Make sure it is walnut stain, yes. So I'll just clean my brush and get rid of that red mahogany. I'm just going to take walnut stain here and I'm just going to add a little bit of texture to the centre here. So I'm just using my brush just to push that detail in there all the way around. And you can see how it picks up that lovely, lovely detail. So to add a little bit more texture, the way that I do it is I just take some water, pop my fingers in and add some water, just so it gives it a little bit of an outdoory look. Roseanne, I'm awful. And I'm just going to grab some tissue here. So I'm just going to let that water activate sort of that wood grain element there. Yep. So if you are looking now and there are things missing, I do apologise. And as always, when I come off set, I will make sure I check to see if anybody's baskets have bounced, because it does happen. And you'll be able to keep an eye on the website. If something's disappeared that you wanted, keep an eye on the website, okay? Because sometimes they do bounce. So I've just got a tissue here and I'm just going to take off. Look how cool that is. So let's just dry this one off. And the more it gets dry, you can see those sort of, that detail in there coming through. Oh, don't be fighting, don't be fighting. Are the sentiments sold out, Adele? Oh my gosh. Like I say, please check the website in a bit when I'm off air. Because sometimes they're sat in people's baskets and I can just go in and sort it out for any that have bounced out of people's baskets. So let's glue this one together very quickly. So I'm not going careful, remember. I like mine to be offset, but you can absolutely line it up perfectly if you are a little bit of an OCD crafter, because I do appreciate some of you are. So this, can we see around the edge of here, I've sort of lost that second layer. So I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of colour and just highlight it a little bit. So I'm just going to, just around that edge a little bit. So when we come to pop it on our background, this is a great thing as well, isn't it? Just play with them. And then when we pop it on top of our lovely wood slice, oak ornament, whatever you want to call it, it's beautiful. So I'll just pop that in the centre there. And there we have a beautiful oak ornament that would look gorgeous on a card. I'll hold it up actually. If you notice, well, the detail in the centre is a heart. Merry Christmas, everyone. So that is if you colour them up, okay? But what happens if you're not into ink and you don't want to ink blend and make your own? What I've done here is I've cut it in 3 different coloured cardstocks. Now I've gone for a craft again, a black as my next layer, and then a brown. So let's stick these ones together so you can see that equally, due to the detail in the front one, they look gorgeous, just matte and layered on their layers. And if you do feel a little bit adventurous, which I know some of you do, just give that a second to grab. And then if you do want to just add a touch of colour in the centre to this one, even though it's coloured cardstock, just a touch of colour. Just add a bit more. Then you can elevate that design just from that top part. So coloured cardstocks or not, let's just show you both. Really, really pretty. So you can see where we're going with these, can't you? They're going to look amazing on your cards. Okay, so that is the wood slice. Now I am trying to demo things in order for you, so you don't get confused, but the wood slice is 10017, and that is part of the birds and the wreath design. Okay, I will show you the birds as well. But now I'm going to move on to 10018, which is the next bundle. Okay, and in that bundle you have the baubles and the pinecones. Okay, so let me quickly show you how I created that lovely realistic bauble. Okay, so in the set I've already die cut them so we can try and get in as much as we can. So in craft card here I have, I'll just pop it down, die cut the sort of material design that sometimes you can get around baubles, or beadwork that you can get around baubles. And if you've noticed as well, the sort of ends are not finished correctly, and that's what gives you that sort of dome effect on there. There is also detail in the sort of string at the top and then the tassels, and you can go in and highlight that. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take one of my ink pads here, move it out of the way, and I'm just going to highlight, maybe not with that one because that's too dark. Let's grab this one. I'm just going to highlight those sort of embossed details on there. So I'm just going to pop some ink on. And this is what's going to make it look maybe a little bit more vintage. But as you've seen from some of the lovely samples from our lovely design team, they look gorgeous in mirrorboard, metallic cards, sparkle. But I'm absolutely loving the sort of vintage, oldie worldy sort of design this time. So that is our lovely, can we see that there? That is our lovely, lovely tassel. Hopefully you'll be able to see that there. Thank you. There we go. So you can see though, all those nooks and crevices, I'll just pop that out there. There we go. And you get sort of, you could put some beads on the sort of fretwork design where it covers on there as well. So let's just set that aside and let's just bring in our bauble. So let's do a blue bauble, a modern bauble. So let me just get a different brush here, make sure it's a cleanish one. There we go. So for this bauble here, I'm using peacock feathers, okay? And I'm just going to take some of the ink. I'm just going to pop it onto the bauble. Now, I'm not going to do ink all over because I really would like it to look like this bauble's got a highlight. I'm just softly covering the whole thing. Like so, can we see that there? And then I'm going to sort of go in and define one side. Like so. So we have a lovely, oopsie daisy. You see I've got this sort of highlight here. Let's just try and make it a little bit darker. So I want it to be there, but I don't want it to be like white. So I'm really going in with that colour around this edge. So then we have sort of a highlight on a circle. Can we see that there? And then I'm just going to take some of my water again. I have to have the splat. Dip my finger in my water. And I'll just splat it a little bit. And get some smaller splats instead of a big puddle on my bauble. I'm just going to let that activate itself there. And I'm going to go and see if I can find my white paint. So I'm just going to take my white paint here. So you saw from some of the lovely samples on set where we've made them look really arty. I'm just going to drink that water from there. Look, and I get this lovely sort of splashed effect on our bauble. Now, if you are not into splats, that's absolutely fine. You can absolutely leave it be and just do the colour on there. So let's mix up some of this white here. So once I've done this demo, we're going to show you our fabulous Christmas video again. And this is going to give me an opportunity to just to check what's left on the website and get ready for some further demonstrations. I'm not going anywhere. It's just so I can catch up and see what's happening. It's quite chaotic in here. It might sound quite calm, but it's quite chaotic. So once I've glued this one together, we'll have a look at our lovely inspirational Christmas video, and then I'll be right back with you to look at those fabulous 3D pine cones. Like so. So let's grab our glue here. And so I nearly put it on the tassel there, didn't I? So let's just pop it on the areas where it's going to need a little bit of glue. Now you can pop it on the back of your hand. Just be careful though, because it can irritate. In fact, no, if you use this glue, do not put this on your skin. There is a warning on it. For skin, don't put this one on your skin if you have this one. Check your bottles before you pop things on your skin, ladies and gents. So then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to let's move this out of the way so you can see what's going on. So I have our lovely bauble. Looks quite messy at the moment, doesn't it? But then as soon as you add that lovely detail, and you can see the bauble's been designed in such a way, let me just push it up there, that it looks like it's overhanging. Can we see here? The notches go beyond the circle, and that is where you get your 3D bauble. I absolutely love it. Look at that. Is that not just amazing? So you don't have to add splashes, and you can do multicoloured baubles if you want to. Absolutely beautiful. So there's 2 traditional ones with this sort of design, and then you've got the 2 sort of modern ones where you get the solid, which look beautiful in metallic card and sparkly card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the opportunity to check out your baskets, and I'm going to check what's left, and then I can give you some lovely updates, and then we'll come back and do our 3D pine cones. Super cool. See you in a second. Welcome back. I hope you're all well. I just needed a little drink there, and I have checked. It's incredibly busy, and I've got a lot of questions already asking, is everything out of stock? So like I say, I can't leave here now because there's only me and I don't have a presenter. So as soon as I come off air, I will double check stock and things like that. But be super quick if you do like any of the product. But if you do miss out, please don't worry about it. They're on Create and Craft on the 12th as well for 3 live hours. Got plenty of stock. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. So let's show you these lovely, perfect pine cones, okay? Now these, oh my gosh, these were the bane of my life. So I wanted to create a 3D one, but doing it in paper and cutting it with a knife and trying to explain what I want, my gosh, it took some doing. But I think we've mastered it really well. It looks amazing. Let me just show you very quickly how it comes to show you how easy it is. So they're on plates, okay? So you have them on plates, so you cut them all in one pass. Now again, you can do exactly the same as you did with, you know, the oak ornaments. We did them in brown cardstock, so maybe cut, if you're not into colouring, maybe cut them in the coloured cardstocks that you want. So these would be green, these would be maybe a light colour, then you've got your shadow on your branch, which could be a darker colour, and then we've got some beautiful blossom shapes and some ones with berries on as well. So if you really do want to go to town and build that sort of lovely sort of flourish around a Christmas wreath, a card, a board, whatever it may be, it's going to look gorgeous. So I've already gone ahead and cut them in white, and I'm going to colour them up and show you how cool they are. So when you get them out, I mean, they have embossed detail on them too, which we will pick up as soon as we pop our colour on them. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. So this is the base. I'll just set the base there. And there's two sizes, okay? Then we have the elements where the elements pop up and away, make it look like a pine cone. Okay, and then we have our shadow, which is super easy. So the two different sizes. Okay, so let's colour these up. So we'll just do one, because I do want to show you a couple of other things as well. So I'll just grab this one. So let's just get some colour on here. Now again, you can do them in coloured cardstock, but I'm just going to go with colour that I have with me now. So I'm just going to add some brown on here. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why have you done a base? Well, you know when you get the sort of 3D elements and they pop up and you can see white through the holes? I didn't want that. So that's why you've got this layer as well, so we don't get that white coming through. So this is our base, okay? I'll just spin it around. So that's our base. Then we have our pop-up elements, okay? So if you look at pictures of pine cones, there are a plethora of colours. I don't think there are any wrongs or rights, but I'm just going to go an orange and maybe a little bit lighter than this one. I'm just going to clean my brush. So I'm just going to put some colour on here like so. So this one is Rusty Hinge. So first of all, what I am doing is I am colouring the whole cone, okay, before I touch any of the pop-out elements. What I am going to do though is I'm going to turn my artwork over and I'm going to colour the back side as well. So this sort of eliminates any white that's going to show through anywhere, because I really do want it to look like a pine cone, and it took me a long time, me and my designer, to get this right. So the help required from yourself is just to make sure there's no white anywhere. And then you can see all of these little hinges here pop up, and they've got embossed detail on them too. So I'm just going to pop all of these little hinges up. So they're like little doors. So there's several to pop up there. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. It was just an idea in my mind, and I think it looks really cool. I'm super pleased with these. I'm just popping up all of those elements, and there's some tiny ones at the bottom. But again, if you don't stick it all flat fully, you know what? It looks cool. It just gives it that extra sort of feel. Now you can see here, there we go. You see how you've got all of those little flaps open there? There we go. You can see that detail on there too. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to take my brush and I'm just going to go on those flaps and just get rid of any of that white as well. Push all of those little flaps up there. So I'm happy that looks quite cool now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this one onto here, okay? Really easy. So don't put any glue where there's flaps, because you need those to remain upright. And that's what's going to give you that sort of 3D element. Now, I'm not bothered if it doesn't all stick down, because it really does make it look realistic. So I'm just going to pop this one on here. So make sure all of your flaps still remain up if you can. And as always, sometimes as well, when you do see pine cones, some of them are lifted and some are not. So it's not a great shake if you don't get them all up. But I do like the idea of being able to get them all up. So already that would make an incredible pine cone. But I wanted to sort of elevate the design just that little bit further. Now I'm going to elevate it further. So then you get your lovely shadow. Let me just make sure I'm using the right ones here. So let me just see what I've done here. So I've used the wrong one there. Have I? Let me just check. Yeah. It's fine though. Just going to take that one off. I used the wrong size. So there's two sizes. I used the small one on the big one. Okay, so I'm just going to colour, just move that one to that side. I'm just going to colour this one up. I want it to be right. You will probably make that mistake as well, which is fine. But I want it to look so you know how it's going to look when it's built, because there's nothing worse than buying a product and not knowing how it's going to look or how it's going to turn out. So I'm just doing that side, swip it over and do the back side. And then I'm just going to pop up those little legs. And then glue it onto our design. Now that those little like door hinges, whatever you want to call them, are upright, you could actually go in with a darker ink pad now and enhance those little sort of liftables on there too. So you can see that there. There we go. I'm just going to take my ink pad now and I'm just going to swipe it over just in case I've got any white going. So let's glue this one onto here. Now this is the right size. So you have a large one and a medium one. You'll be able to see when you die cut them through. And then we'll stick this direct onto here. That's better. I was thinking it doesn't fit. Why doesn't it fit? You can't really see the back one now, but I can see through those holes and I can see that lovely dark shadow underneath, which is amazing. Pop all those little legs. There we go. So there's our second layer. And then you get the shadow part, okay? So this part needs to be dark. So I make sure I've got the right one, the darkest one. And let's get a dark colour here. So I'm just going to do a dark one here. If you love to build and you love to be creative with your colour, and you love 3D on cards, clean and simple cards, but with a touch of sort of 3D, you're going to absolutely love these. So I think that's dark enough. Just one more for good luck. And then we'll glue this one. And this is where your pine cone absolutely bounces off the page. And then all we do is I'll just hold it here so you can see how easy it is. Just pop it on. Make sure you pull all of those. The little legs and hinges are made smaller, so they should just naturally come through. There we go. I'll just give that, so can we see there? Look at that. Just give that a second to grab. I can't believe how cool they are. Like, honestly, I've shocked myself. The pine cones are amazing. Thank you so much. So then all I'm doing is just bending it this way and bending it this way. Give it a twist and a pull. And let me show you that beautiful pine cone. On a whole new level. It looked like a pine. Look, you can see the detail on top there. So you have your elevated pine cones. Look really cool, don't they? And these are going on my big wreath as well. So that's the fabulous pine cone. So we've done the pine cones, we've done the fabulous baubles. So if you missed the show, we just did the lovely baubles on here, okay? So that's part of the same collection, 1000, 18, beautiful realistic baubles, and then 10017 is the beautiful oak slices that we've done with the two different types of cardstock on there, okay? So let's just do one more thing, because I've got lots to show you. I just wanted to show you the lovely tags. Now, let's just move this one out there. Let's go with some colour here, hey? So when you take your tags out of the packaging, again, it's on a plate as well, so if you want to stamp them out, you can. But I'm just going to go one today, and I'm going to go with the ones with the sort of, let me just grab a piece of card here, with the sort of cross-hatch detail on here, this one here, to show you how you get the texture on there, because it's super cool how the texture transfers onto here without having that second layering stamp. It's how it's been designed. So it's super cool. And the tree is within the design as well. So let's just set that aside. You're going to love this as well. I'm sorry, how are you going to decide? I have no idea. So this must be Claire's Eureka because it's full of broken magnets. I'll get my own. So let's grab our Eureka here. And let's pop the cardstock in and let's just stamp this one out. Now this is going to show you the texture in one stamp. Texture in one stamp. And let's see what colours we've got going on. Have I got a coloured ink pad here? Let's just grab my lovely, lovely eyes ink colours. Let's do a bright colour here. So let's grab, let's go, shall we go? Let's go pink, because we can. Okay, so I'm going to ink up the stamp. I include in the tree, because you get that lovely detail of the tree in there too. And I'll stamp it one more time. And wait till you see, normally you would have to have a 2-part stamp to create this texture. No. Shortcut to creativity, guys. Let me just show you the texture in this stamp with one stamp. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I really love this collection. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. So gold embossing, different coloured ink pads, ombre. You've got the dies to cut them out to. They cut the hole out through. Use your twine, use your ribbon. Get them onto your gifts, get them onto your cards if you want to. Just use them as decorative elements per se. Oh, I wish I didn't like them, poor Jan. So that's me for today. I don't have time to do anything else, although I could stand here all day. What I am going to quickly just show you, though, is a couple of other products that are available on the web from our new Christmas launch. We couldn't get them all in the show, but I just wanted to show you a couple of the products. So we have 2 beautiful frames. Now, we have launched these frames before, but they are very fitting for Christmas. I'm just going to pop these on the counter here just to show you how equally they're going to work with the rest of the products that are on the counter as well. Okay, so we have Geo Stitch and we have the beautiful, excuse me, Diamond Stitch. So you can see there are 5x7. They are nesting. They have the decorative elements on there. Please check your stash though. Make sure you haven't bought these before. Okay, these are beautiful, they look like snowflakes and things like that. And I wanted to bring these ones back for Christmas, but do check your stash. Some of you may already have these. Okay, so that's those 2 items. The other items I wanted to show you, these are all available on the web on www.stampsbyme.co.uk, and you can have a look in HTCN tab or in the lovely FBL. So I also have 3 fabulous stencils. Now these are going to sit behind your birds. These are going to fill in those awkward spaces, and they're going to be beautiful for backgrounds. So we have this one, Forest Elements, with the sort of fern and the berries. These are available as individuals. We have floral trimmings with the open fretwork flower and some extended leaf design on there. And then lastly, we have the berry branches on there. These are available as individuals. Now I just want to show you some of the stencils that I have been playing with. Now check these out. Some colours. Look at these. So that I was cleaning my stencil with that one. What about a little bit of the reverse stencil work? Whoopsie daisy. On there as well. So I've created a foliage background, so I'm ready to pop some of our lovely leaves and our birds on there. This is the berries and branches. And then the cleaning of the stencil, and then just the open design through on there. Absolutely gorgeous. So those are the 3 stencils that are also available. You will see them in more depth over on Create and Craft. And then lastly, we do have 2 embossing folds. So we have our beautiful embossing 3D, it's a given. We don't do anything less than a 3D. Watercolour embossing folders, this is your poinsettia. You had a sneak peek of this the day before yesterday. And we have our fabulous winter pines as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so the detail in these is incredible. Let's just show you a few of the samples we've got going on here. So don't just think about them as an embossing folder background, maybe make some pretty cards and things like that. Let's just move this out of the way. Look at that, how cool is that? And then what about painting them up as always? So you can literally paint these if you want to. Some mirror board with some alcohol ink on there, then a white one. And then don't forget the lovely, lovely vellum. Okay, so that's the end of the show, ladies and gents. I hope you like the brand new Christmas launch from us here at Stamps by Me. We are live over on Create and Craft on the 12th of June, launching exactly the same products. And I will be putting some cards together so you can see them actually in action. But I just wanted to show you the concept of them today, because I know a lot of you are Stamps by Me followers and will buy anyway, which is fabulous. So I hope you've enjoyed this afternoon's show. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, although I'm absolutely red hot and can't wait to grab a cup of tea. And don't forget to check the website. If any items have bounced, I will pop them back in stock if you are sat waiting patiently. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely afternoon, stroke evening. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on these. And don't forget to check out our Eureka fan page where we have all the inspiration from the design team. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. Take care. Bye.